It's happening right now. And if you're watching this, it's not by accident. Your soul was guided here because heaven is trying to get your attention. Lately, you've been feeling different, disconnected from people, drained by chaos, and drawn towards something higher. Even if you can't explain why, you've been questioning everything: your path, your purpose, your place in this world. But what if I told you, it's not confusion, it's activation. The universe has started identifying its chosen ones. And if you're feeling this deep spiritual pull, chills, synchronicities, emotional waves, sleepless nights, you're not going crazy. You're waking up. Heaven doesn't choose the comfortable. It chooses the courageous. And right now, the divine is setting you apart, aligning you with your true mission. Stay with me till the end of this video, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover 5 unmistakable signs that heaven has chosen you. By the time you hear the 5th one, you'll understand exactly why everything had to happen the way it did. When heaven chooses you, it doesn't begin with blessings, it begins with breaks. Not the kind that destroy you, the kind that rebuild you. When you're marked as a chosen one, heaven starts shifting your reality in ways that can feel uncomfortable, even painful. You begin to notice people you once trusted slowly drifting away. Friends stop calling. Relationships start to fade. And suddenly, it feels like your entire life has gone silent. You wonder what happened. You question yourself. You replay conversations, wondering what you did wrong. But the truth is, you didn't do anything wrong. Heaven is simply rearranging your surroundings to match your future. See, when you carry divine purpose, you can't step into your next chapter surrounded by people who only belong to your past. The universe begins a spiritual cleanup. It removes everything and everyone that can't go with you where you're destined to go. You'll start losing interest in gossip, toxic energy, and meaningless talk. You'll crave quiet, you'll crave truth, and you'll crave peace, even if that means being alone. But that loneliness, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's heaven isolating you, not to hurt you, but to upgrade your frequency. Think of it like this. When your phone updates, it disconnects from the network for a while. Not because it's broken, but because it's being renewed. That's what's happening to you. You're not being abandoned, you're being aligned. During this phase, you may find yourself sitting alone in your room, staring at the ceiling, feeling a strange mix of emptiness and peace. That's your soul adjusting to a higher vibration. And maybe deep down, you've started noticing the things that once thrilled you no longer do. The people who once filled your time now drain your energy. The habits that once distracted you now feel heavy. That's how you know heaven has initiated your separation phase. It's stripping away every illusion, every comfort zone, every mask, so that your authentic self can finally breathe. It might hurt at first, because detachment always feels like loss. But in spiritual truth, detachment is just space being created for destiny. And here's something powerful. The moment you stop chasing what's leaving, what's meant for you begins to approach. When you finally surrender, heaven begins to rebuild your life piece by piece, with people who understand your spirit, with opportunities that fit your vibration, and with peace that no one can steal. So, if you're losing people, but finding peace, if your circle is shrinking, but your energy feels lighter, if you're walking alone, but feeling strangely protected, congratulations, that's not a breakdown. That's a divine breakthrough in disguise. Heaven has started clearing your path because your next chapter requires clarity, not company. So don't fight the silence. Don't resist the distance. Instead, whisper this affirmation right now. I release what no longer serves me, and I trust heaven's plan. Because separation is not the end. It's the sacred beginning of your spiritual elevation. Once heaven identifies you, something inside begins to shift. Your energy starts to vibrate on a completely different frequency, and suddenly, the world around you begins to respond. You start noticing patterns. Repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 777 seem to follow you everywhere. On clocks, receipts, license plates, and even random signs. At first, it feels strange, but deep down, something tells you, this means something. And you're right, it does. These are not random digits. They're frequency downloads. Messages from your divine team, fine-tuning your vibration to align with your higher purpose. When heaven starts adjusting your frequency, your entire body becomes more sensitive to spiritual energy. You might feel sudden chills, heart flutters, or waves of emotion that appear out of nowhere. Sometimes joy, sometimes sadness, sometimes deep peace that you can't explain. That's your soul syncing with the rhythm of the universe. The truth is, the universe doesn't always speak in words. It speaks in patterns, energy, symbols, and timing. When you start seeing synchronicities, repeating numbers, meaningful coincidences, or déjà vu moments, it's heaven's way of whispering, pay attention. You're on the right path. Maybe you think of someone and they call you seconds later. Maybe you dream of something that happens days after. Or maybe you turn on a video and the exact message your soul needed finds you. Just like this one. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. It means your connection to the divine grid, your spiritual GPS, has been activated. From this moment, your soul begins navigating toward destiny, using signs and sensations as directions. You'll notice how your energy reacts differently now. You may feel drained around negativity, uncomfortable in crowds, or overly emotional during full moons because your body is learning to process higher frequencies. Don't resist it. Don't doubt it. It's your spiritual DNA coming online. Heaven is expanding your capacity to hold divine light, to become a vessel that carries higher truth and purpose. And here's the beautiful part. The more you acknowledge these signs, the more they multiply. When you see 1111, pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Say softly, I see you, universe. Because that small act of awareness opens a deeper channel between you and heaven. You begin to move in flow. Doors start opening at the right moment. People begin to appear with answers. Opportunities align perfectly, not because you force them, but because your frequency finally matches your destiny. This is how chosen ones are guided, not through noise, but through synchronicity. You're being shown that everything around you is alive, communicating, guiding, and aligning with your energy. So, the next time your phone lights up with 1111 or a random song speaks exactly to your heart, know that heaven is saying, keep going. You're doing exactly what you're meant to do. This isn't luck, it's alignment. The signs are your proof that heaven is walking with you in every whisper, every number, every coincidence that feels too perfect to ignore. You, chosen one, are learning the sacred language of light. And now that you've started hearing it, your life will never again be ordinary. Comment below, I'm aligned with divine timing, if you've been noticing these magical synchronicities unfolding around you, because they're not random. They're heaven's way of saying, welcome to your higher path. Now here's something very few people truly understand. When heaven identifies a chosen one, Darkness takes notice too, because the moment your light begins to rise, shadows start to move. You may begin to feel waves of strange energy, sudden anxiety, sleepless nights, random fears, or emotional heaviness that seems to appear from nowhere. One moment, you feel inspired. The next, you're drained or overwhelmed. But listen carefully, this isn't punishment, it's preparation. When your spiritual vibration starts elevating, your light becomes impossible to ignore, not only to people, but to energies that exist beyond the physical realm. You become a beacon of light in a world that still holds shadows, and light always exposes what darkness tries to hide. So yes, the brighter you shine, the more resistance you attract. You might notice sudden misunderstandings with loved ones, people misjudging you, or energy shifts in friendships you once trusted. You might even sense envy, cold stares, or subtle negativity aimed your way. Don't let it scare you. Let it remind you of your divine power. Because the truth is, attacks are proof of assignment. You wouldn't be targeted if you weren't chosen for something extraordinary. Heaven allows this phase to unfold, not to break you, but to build your spiritual muscles. Every chosen soul must prove they can hold light, even when surrounded by chaos. This is what we call the purification fire. It burns away weakness, ego, and fear, leaving behind the purest version of who you truly are. And yes, it hurts. You'll cry, you'll doubt, you'll feel moments of silence so deep it almost feels like heaven stepped away. But that's the illusion darkness wants you to believe. In truth, heaven never leaves you. It just steps back to watch you remember your strength. It's like a spiritual test. When you're climbing higher, the air gets thinner. But that doesn't mean you're in danger. It means you're ascending. So when the attacks come, when the energy feels heavy, when the nights feel long, remind yourself, this is not the end. This is my initiation. Every chosen one faces this valley before their rise. Moses faced it. Buddha faced it. Every enlightened soul was tested in darkness before their light transformed the world. You are walking that same divine path, and once you endure it, something changes. The heaviness lifts, the anxiety fades, the energy that once tried to break you ends up shaping you into someone unstoppable. Because every storm has a hidden purpose. It clears the way for your next miracle. Your spiritual attacks are just signals that a massive breakthrough is near. It's heaven's way of saying, hold on, you're about to step into the version of yourself that your old life could never handle. So if you've been through sleepless nights, emotional breakdowns, or betrayal from people you trusted, take a deep breath. This isn't the end. It's your transformation in progress. Heaven is refining you through pressure, not to punish you, but to prove you're ready for elevation. After every storm comes clarity. After every test comes transformation. And after every breakdown comes your breakthrough. So stand tall. Don't run from the battle. Your light is stronger than anything that's tried to stop you. Repeat these words with faith. My spirit cannot be broken. Because you, chosen one, were never meant to crumble. You were meant to rise. And this, right here, is heaven's signal that your biggest victory is just around the corner. After the storms you've walked through, after the separation, the loneliness, and the spiritual battles that nearly broke you, something begins to shift. It's subtle at first. You wake up one morning and realize you're not as heavy as before. You still have challenges, you still have uncertainty, but your heart feels calm. That's the sign. That's when heaven whispers, you've made it through the storm. This peace that starts blooming inside you, it doesn't come from anything external. It's not because everything is perfect. It's because you are finally aligned. It's what happens when your soul passes its tests and steps into divine understanding. You stop chasing closure. You stop fighting to prove your worth. You stop begging people to see your value. Instead, you begin to trust, not because life suddenly became easy, but because something deep within you knows that you're protected. That's the divine shift. Heaven replaces your confusion with clarity, your anxiety with assurance, your pain with power. It's as if the noise of the world starts to fade, and your intuition becomes the only voice you truly listen to. You don't need validation anymore, because your spirit feels guided from within. You can stand in the middle of chaos and still say, "I'm okay." You can look at uncertainty and still feel calm. That's not apathy, that's ascension. It means your soul is no longer ruled by fear. It's ruled by faith. And here's the truth. That calmness you feel isn't emptiness. It's alignment. It's what it feels like to finally walk in sync with your divine timeline. Before, you were surviving on adrenaline, trying to control outcomes, forcing doors to open, holding on to people who were meant to leave. But now, you just know. You know what's yours won't miss you. You know every delay has divine purpose. You know everything lost will return in a higher form. This peace is heaven's reward, confirmation that you've passed your spiritual initiation. The people who once hurt you no longer have the power to disturb your emotions. The memories that once broke you now feel like wisdom. You've become grounded, centered, unshakable. And that's the mark of a divine warrior. You're not fighting for peace anymore. You are peace. You carry it within you like light in a lantern, illuminating every space you enter. And the more you choose this peace, the more heaven surrounds you with calm energy, relationships that feel safe, paths that feel clear, blessings that feel effortless. Because peace is the highest vibration of trust. And when you hold it, the universe knows you're ready for your next blessing. So if you can feel that quiet confidence, that unexplainable calm in your soul, even when things around you still look uncertain, congratulations. You've crossed the bridge from chaos to clarity. You've stepped into divine flow, where everything begins to make sense. Not in your mind, but in your spirit. Type it below and claim it out loud. Rainbow, I choose peace over fear. Because peace isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your divine mastery. This is the final and most powerful signal, the one that changes everything. When heaven identifies you as a chosen one, something profound happens inside your soul. It's not subtle, it's not gradual. It's like a divine light switch flips on, and suddenly, your entire being begins to vibrate at a higher frequency. You wake up one morning and realize, I can't live an ordinary life anymore. You start feeling a pull, a sacred magnetic calling that refuses to be ignored. It's no longer about just surviving. It's about fulfilling your destiny. You feel called to help, to create, to speak, to heal, to inspire. You begin to sense that your life carries divine significance. And that's when everything begins to accelerate. Doors that were once sealed tight start to swing open effortlessly. Opportunities that felt impossible now appear right in front of you. You may get messages, invitations, or financial breakthroughs that seem too perfect to be coincidence. Because they're not. They are divine alignments, proof that heaven has officially moved you from survival into assignment. See, abundance isn't only about money, it's about flow. It's when life begins to harmonize with your divine vibration. When everything starts to work for you, not against you, you attract the right people, the right timing, and the right energy, because your spirit is no longer chasing, it's magnetizing. You've stepped into your heaven frequency, the energetic code that connects you directly to purpose, prosperity, and protection. And when you reach this vibration, the universe recognizes it instantly. You start noticing repeating numbers like 1111, 222, 888. You may even feel sudden chills or bursts of inspiration that keep you awake at night, not from worry, but from vision. That's how you know heaven has activated your purpose. It's not random, it's not coincidence, it's divine timing. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every lonely night you survived, it all led you here. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. Heaven had to strip away the distractions, the wrong connections, the doubts, so you could see yourself clearly and hear your calling without interference. And now that you've crossed that threshold, your energy speaks louder than words. People begin to notice something different about you. They may say you glow, or that your presence feels calming, magnetic, even healing. That's because your aura has expanded. You've moved from being a seeker to being a transmitter of divine energy. You are no longer chasing blessings. You've become the blessing. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. When you speak, people listen, not because you demand attention, but because heaven speaks through your vibration. That's the mark of a true chosen one. And now, abundance starts flowing, not in small ways, but in waves. Financial doors open, opportunities multiply. People who were meant to walk this divine path with you suddenly appear. You begin to realize that the delays weren't denials. They were divine timing, aligning everything perfectly for this moment. You're walking in spiritual momentum. Your life begins to unfold like destiny itself is guiding every step. And here's the most beautiful part. Once heaven identifies you, no one can unmark you. No spell, no jealousy, no opposition can cancel divine selection. You carry the seal of divine favor now. And that means miracles are not just possible, they're inevitable. So expect sudden blessings, expect unexpected calls, emails, and breakthroughs. Expect divine partnerships that feel like destiny. Expect your dreams to take physical form, because this is what happens when your soul aligns with heaven's blueprint. You become unstoppable. Your steps are ordered. Your hands become magnetic. Your words carry weight, and your presence begins to open doors that used to be locked. You are walking proof that the storm had purpose, that pain was preparation for power. This is your season of divine activation, your moment to rise. Claim it, own it, speak it into existence. Type it in the comments right now. I'm walking in divine purpose. Because from this point forward, every sunrise, every breath, every heartbeat is a reminder. You are chosen, you are guided, you are abundant. Heaven has identified you, and now the universe will amplify you. And now, chosen one. If you felt even one of these divine signals, the chills, the synchronicities, the spiritual warfare, or that unexplainable peace, then this is your confirmation. Heaven has identified you. You are not lost. You are being launched. Everything that once felt confusing now makes sense. The tears, the isolation, the delays, they were never punishment. They were preparation for this exact moment in time. You're entering a divine season where your purpose activates, your gifts expand, and your abundance begins to flow without struggle. The frequency of heaven is aligning with your heartbeat. So, when the world tells you to give up, remember who you are. You're not meant to fit in. You're meant to awaken others. The same light that guided you through the darkness is now shining through you. You are the living proof that divine timing is real. So claim it now, say it out loud, type it in the comments, feel it in your soul. I am chosen, I am guided, I am ready, because from this moment forward, doors will open, blessings will flow, and miracles will find their way to your doorstep. This is your divine confirmation. Heaven has spoken. And if this message resonated, don't just scroll away. Share it, save it, and spread the light. Your awakening is not the end. It's the beginning. Moon and star.